Hello, beauties. I'm Ashley Sunshine, and I am coming in fresh from a really powerful day retreat that we had yesterday where we feasted on gourmet food around a beautiful food altar, and we communed and connected with the waters of our bodies and the waters of the earth. And there were a lot of questions that came up around grid work, and I wanted to just talk about it here and remind us all that we are priestesses here on this planet, awakening to our purpose, which is to a big part of many of our purposes is to regrid the organic matrix of this planet. And even the word matrix, it comes from the root word for mother. It's the holder of us all, the embrace that we all coexist inside that actually gives us the chance to exist. We all need to exist within some kind of holding. We're not independent entities. We're not, existing as a singular body, but rather we are a body that is intertwined with many, many other bodies, infinite other bodies within a bigger body, which is also existing within a bigger body among other bodies. And that's the fractal holographic nature of our universe and the original blueprint that allows us to exist. And so much has happened on our planet that has disrupted the conscious awareness of where we come from and why we're truly here and what we're here to really do and experience. And so we've been raised, many of us, to believe that we must be productive, that we must serve a middleman in society, meaning that our resources actually come from the mother, from Mother Earth, from the cosmos, but we're made to believe that our resources come from the middleman, from corporate agendas, from corporate organizations, such as the electricity, and food. We have a middleman now in food, and that's relatively new in our journey of evolution on Earth. That the food is under lock and key, and that we actually used to know how to grow our own food. Everyone would have to know how to survive. And we don't know that anymore because we've adopted a middleman. And this middleman has formed a false matrix on our planet, has formed this grid that creates more pollution and disconnection than connection and health and well-being. And so it's unsustainable and it's unregenerative. It has an end point. This false matrix that's on top of our existence has an end point that we're going to eventually run into if we continue in the way that we've been living, by relying on the false matrix and disconnecting systematically with the organic matrix, which, so if you're, what's the organic matrix? It's basically, right, the liquid embrace that we are held in. And air is also like liquid, right? It's fluid. The fluid embrace that we're held in is the organic matrix. It's the connection points between all of the nodes on our planet, right? We need the river to connect from the mountains to the ocean in order for life to happen. So that is the original organic matrix. There's no straight lines. It's all flowing, it's all fluid, and it naturally just connects. And we've built dams, we've built buildings that block things. We have all kinds of weather structuring things that are preventing the natural cycle to take its place. And so many of us priestesses are called, first of all, to online work because it gives us the freedom to travel. Many of us are feeling that we need to be able to travel. We want to, do work in different parts of the world. We want to visit sacred sites. We want to give offerings and connect waters of different sacred sites around the world. And this is like a natural intuition that we feel. We feel like, oh yeah, I got to go to Glastonbury, or I got to go to the Machu Picchu, or I got to go to, the Great Pyramids of Egypt. And whichever ones you're feeling called to, it's like, listen to that. This is the initial spark that causes like the outcome of grid work, right? So following and trusting your intuition very, very much. Many of these sacred portals were very revered throughout antiquity, like these sacred sites around the world. And the placements of these sites are not random. They're not just, where pick a random spot and let's make that sacred. No, there's actually fluctuations in the energy fields in those places. There's actually more highly structured water in those places. And, on a more etheric level, there's portals to the underworld and to the above world in those locations as well. So, and many times, and always they'll have spirit keepers, dragon spirits, caped, nymphs and little people, and all kinds of fairies and things like that. Mermaids can keep different portals on different sites. And so grid work is the conscious bringing of your own energy to different places. So, how crystals, like if we place a crystal in a place, it's going to transmute energy, it's going to attract energy, it's going to repel certain energies. You can think about your body as the most powerful living crystal that you'll ever get a hold of. Like you could never have a crystal that's more powerful than your body's crystal. And so the more you work with yourself and connecting your own inner parts, right, through yoga practice, through dance, through exploring meditation, body scanning, organizing and making coherent your specific energy field, then you become this really powerful crystal, which is an amplifier, a transmuter, a repellent, and all kinds of other magical things that you can do with that crystal. So imagine like when you're called to a sacred site or you're called to a certain area of the world, it's like you're basically called to bring your body crystal to that location in order to work with the energies. And not only are you working with the energies in the way of transmuting, of attracting and repelling, but you're also bringing the energies from the other sacred sites you've been to, bringing the energies of all that you've experienced and learned to that location. Okay. And then on top of that, so if we realize that we're all interconnected and we're all one in this watery embrace of our planet, if we can wrap our head around the fact that all water is interconnected, we cannot separate the waters of our bodies from the waters of the earth. We pee it out, we drink it in, and we can't stop that flow, and nor would we ever want to. We can start to see that perhaps water is one being, a conscious being. And if water is one conscious being and we are kind of a living cell within that one conscious being, then by traveling to different sites and getting to know different peoples and different cultures and different traditions and connecting to different lands, it's like we're awakening another part of our neural network and expanding who we are. Okay, so we start to see ourselves as more than just our bodies, as just our, singular experience in this very moment, but we start to see ourselves as like, yes, that spring is a part of me now. And I will always have this connection with that spring. It's like that memory lives on in our heart, just like the memory lives on in our heart with anyone who passed away, right? It's not like we've lost them. It's like they're still there with us in some way. And it's like that with every experience we have. It just makes me feel the importance of creating memorable experiences with our life and not getting stuck in the day-to-day to-do list and the hustle, and really like focus on creating memorable experiences. So we're really expanding our consciousness of who we are and what we're here to do. And what was I going to say? So you're expanding your consciousness, and you can then work with those sites in your work, right? So I work with a specific spring, which I bring women to, and I brought women to yesterday, and we had an incredible day of grid work and connection and awakening of the waters in our bodies and the waters of the earth, and awakening of our worthiness and our indulgence and the abundance and beauty of this planet and what's available to us. And so because I work with this spring, it's become such an ingrained part of my consciousness. I can just close my eyes and I can see the cave, and I can see the water, and I can see the wall inside the cave of the water, and I can transport myself there anytime. And when I transport myself there, many magical things can happen. I can journey into the cave to the underworld. I can see the connection between the cave and the spring in my own yoni and womb, and see my own yoni as a portal, just like the spring, to the womb, to the center of the earth. And then I can see that water coming out the spring, like so generously, so unconditionally, so, constant, that it's the same with my own creative life force energy, that there's a source that's so deep within this vast me, which is more than just my body, that I can source from and continuously, generously give that water, that creative force, that loving life force energy to the world. Okay, so there's just so much magic in doing grid work, and there's so much available to us in terms of expanding who we are and what we came here to do. So I encourage you, whoever is watching, to trust your intuition. If a place calls you, make a plan to go. And even if the money seems tight or it seems impossible, like, put that intention into the water, put that prayer into the land, plant a seed into the earth with that prayer, and book the ticket. Even if you have to borrow money, or even if you have to, dip into your savings a little bit, and trust that it will come back to you tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold, that you will be supported in doing this work. You are supported in doing this work. And this is where we tap into the magic and the illogical. Okay. Thank you for tuning in, and sending you so much love and many, many blessings. And if you want to dive deeper into grid work and learning how to work with the water, dipping your prayers into the water so that we can follow the whispers and the instructions of the water to really not only create the lives that we're in love with, but to also bring to life the heaven on earth that we all know is possible. I have a 12-week course called Wellspring, and this is a journey into water, a journey into grid work, a journey into your priestess path. And this is for any priestess, anybody who kind of has that inkling that they know that they're a priestess, and to bring in the water codes. And we're also going to talk about hosting retreats, because I know many women are feeling called to put together retreats, and so we're going to talk about doing that in a way that's really protecting your own energy, that's in deep integrity, and that's deeply serving the world. So check it out, ashleysunshine.com/wellspring. And otherwise, be in touch. I also have a free download on my website on how to honor Earth's sacred springs. So if you have springs near you, or you go on trips where you visit springs, or you want to gather some girlfriends and go out, it's like making that trip sacred, right? Instead of just instead of just casual, you can have fun and be casual, and also have it be deeply impactful and meaningful. All right, much love and many blessings. Bye bye.